So both of them are forces of change which are aiding each other. They are different forces. Sanskritization is internal to the caste system, wherein the lower caste is following the upper caste to ensure that they are uplifted in terms of positional hierarchy. While westernization is aiding the upper caste to go out of the system of caste and hence go get into a heterogeneous system where caste identity does not matter.
Very good. Your hobby is reflective poem.
Yes, sir, reflective poetry.
So, who is your favorite poet?
So,
either in Odia or in English or in Hindi?
In general, I do not read as many poets as much as I write because it's a means of expression for me.
Oh, you write poem?
Yes.
So, you write poem?
Yes.
So, can you write a poem depicting the situation right now you are facing? Can you tell that poem?
So, immediately,
extempore.
So, if I could take some time.
Yeah, sure.
So, I doubt, therefore I think.
Yeah.
I think, therefore I am. This question defines why I am a sapient. I am asked to ration. I use my logic to go out of proportion and go beyond to do magic.
Okay, it's wonderful, really. But this is existentialism of Jean-Paul Sartre.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Your engineering from College of
You
said anthropology. So your papers.
Yes, sir. Optional is mine.
After CET, what did you do?
So I did my yes, sir. Management and human resources from exam.
You're from Bhubaneswar.
Yes, sir.
Then you are the graduate engineer. Then exam MBA.
Yes, sir.
Then where are you now?
So I was working with ICICI Bank for a period of 1.5 years. Post that, I left the job and I am preparing solely for civil services.
Cooking and regularly writing.
So I do write at times because it helps me.
You could have augmented to a good post in there. Why you came here after civil service?
So of course I could have augmented.
Your native district?
So my native district is Jajpur. I'm born and brought up in Bhubaneswar. So I could have augmented, but then post repayment of my loans, I believe that I should align myself with my goals that I already had set up. So that is why I chose to come back to properly studying because I
heard about the KBK district.
Yes, sir.
What is it?
So the KBK district are the southern districts of Odisha which have marginalized developmental aspects associated with them. Koraput, Balangir, Kalahandi are the major districts which I mentioned, but then there are other districts as well which form in the group.
No, what do they do and why the government is so worried? Why they are doing an aspirational district? Why?
So they are mostly tribal populated districts, and that is why they have been segregated from the mainstream process of development for a long time, including the hunger issues that were there because of which, for example, the Namka Durbhikya situation that was there. So because of these situations, the developmental aspects of these districts have been very different. And that is why the government is focused at bringing them at an equal level of development with respect to other districts.
Anthropology as a subject, is it useful for the people for day-to-day life?
Yes, sir. So the health aspect specifically of anthropology is very holistic. A person of sociology deals generally with rights and right-based aspects. Yes, sir. I'm just trying to create a contrast. A person of medical science deals with the physical aspect only, while anthropology takes into consideration both the aspect, the social as well as the biological aspect of health. For example, in case of the present marriage age,
anthropology does not just go with rights of women as the only basis, but also the period in which pregnancy is most appropriate for women, which is 20 to 24 as well. So anthropology takes into consideration both the aspects, which is biological and sociological, and hence it is much more reliable as a study and holistic. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Is it your first year?
So this is my first interview.
First
Yes, sir.
Earlier you have appeared to OPS.
Yes, sir, I had appeared for OPSC. By the time I started preparing, OPSC was 1 month away, and I could not do well in the mains itself.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, by the time of age 5, it is said that 95% of the brain cranial development happens in terms of cognitive abilities. Post that, it is just gradual development in terms of learning from the system and from the environment. Accordingly, it is said that in the childhood itself, training a person with multiple languages is much more easier than training them later. Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I believe it needs a multifaceted approach in terms of developing the cognition. The present new education policy also takes into consideration of that thing and has the foundational numeracy and literacy program associated with it. Apart from that, the training of is after later. Uh, Before that, the Anganwadi and the Asha worker system is also necessary for us to be trained so that the cognitive development of the children can happen properly. So, ma'am, I would have come to that. The next part is family aspect. Parent and grandparents, both of these generations need to be socialized in a proper manner. So, the socialization of the child happens in a very fast pace from a very younger age. Children. Yes.
As an engineer, what you are intended to contribute for the good government. Tomorrow you will be joining in civil service. What you have, what is in your mind that you are looking after as early as possible I will join and as early as I will contribute to it.
Sir, not specific.
What kind of imbalance you have felt since your childhood?
So I believe in terms of a citizen, it is mostly about citizen delivery, the delivery of benefits of the government, which has been not up to the mark because of multiple leakages, inclusionary and exclusionary issues. I believe in terms of an engineer, I would implement technology-based solutions to ensure that the benefits of government schemes reaches out to the people in as much way as possible. On my part, individually, I have felt corruption being present in the system because when I appeared for my passport validation, the localized police station requested me to offer certain form of amount so that he could sanction the same. I immediately left the police station premise, and within certain days itself, the process was authorized because passport has become a timely process. Now, it is all about technology and time that it is making the difference. So people do not have to succumb to such demands in general. So technology and time-based solution is the target that I would focus
It has been seen that the youngsters are becoming more corrupt than the olders nowadays.
on. Yes, sir.
People at the very early age, quite young age, they are falling track of dishonesty. What is your opinion?
So this is specifically with respect to Sanskritization of corruption that is happening. It can be both coercive and collusive. So both of them have to be targeted separately. For the coercive system, where the upper echelons are actually forcing the individual to get into the system because that actually maintains the corruption in the system, that needs to be dealt by going for vigilance checks and VRS systems in the system so that the people who are having higher ethics can actually grow up and sustain their ethics. In terms of collusive systems, we need multiple checks in terms of contracts, where public trust contracts and contracts which specifically mention that corruption would lead
Do you
to.
believe that the Department of 5T can ensure
Yes, sir.
corruption free,
Yes.
administration university?
Yes, sir.
How?
So again, the TEs itself are self-explanatory in their functioning, but the system of transparency, accountability, and others are being enforced through other machineries. And 5T as a model is integrating these machineries. For example, citizen charter, RTI, and other aspects which were earlier functioning separately under 5T are now in a single link. So it is creating a holistic citizen experience, and that is why it will be able to reduce corruption in general.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. All the best.
So all the best. Huh?
You will come out successful.
Thank you, sir. Should I?
Yeah, and when
Sure.
your
Yes.
Viva date?
So it's on 23rd.
20.
Or then you are getting good time to prepare again.
Yes, sir. So if I could ask my deficiencies in terms of.
Hey, represent in the sense, be confident in your answer, that's all.
Better. Don't put on this.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, day of interview. Don't put this.
If you want, you can keep it here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Put it inside.
I'll put it in.
And your bottle should be still academic
Shall I
to come out outside.
Understood.
I mean, as gentle as possible, you know.
Sure, sir.
That you can attract the board and everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the way.
Thank you, sir. Thank
All
you.
the best.
4 ଜଣ ପିଲା ଅଛନ୍ତି 6ଟା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ହେବ
Sequentially, is it important?